result in only a minute dose of radiation, and the tritium would pass through the body. They act like the urethra and other parts of the body, the kidneys, they're not porous. That none of this could ever lodge in there. No, 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 not at all. China's Zhao, known aggressively for his style of diplomacy, also has responded at length to the issues surrounding Fukushima water last week, denying on Tuesday the suggestion that China had itself been in a comparable situation when it released treated water from the power plants into the sea. Chinese records show local power plants such as Daya Bay and Shenzhen also have released large amounts of tritium into the sea. He claims that there is no comparison to be drawn. So because China did it, that's a great benchmark. That's a great yardstick to use. It must be okay for all of us to do it. It's not clear whether Zhao's challenge to a soul was meant literally, or how the deputy prime minister would be able to drink the radioactive water before it was diluted with seawater. Former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe publicly ate seafood off the coast near the plant several points to reassure consumers. Yeah, and he also got cancer. Don't you like how they leave that off? Oh, well, it couldn't have caused it that quick. It could be worsened that quick if you already had it. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Two more to go, guys. Fox8.com. This almost got the DUMBDEE of the day, but again, terrorists aren't worried about surviving, so I get why they were interested in it. It wasn't because they thought they would be able to survive it, so that doesn't get the DUMBDEE of the day. I-Team officials respond to reports of possible bomb threat at Perry Power Plant. You're going to see more and more of this now that Biden is in office, but regardless of that truth, and it is an inevitable truth, this is something we've known about for a long time. And it was talked about when nuclear power plants were on the rise. It was even concerned that Russia would be behind it during the Cold War. And here we are. North Perry, Ohio, Cedar Point. It terrifies me because me and somebody very precious to me used to all but live there. The Fox 8 I-Team has learned that multiple police departments responded, this was April 7th, to the Perry nuclear power plant after reports of a possible bomb threat. The FBI, according to their tweet, is assisting local law enforcement to include the Lake County Sheriff's Office, the North Perry Police Department, the Lake County Bomb Squad, among others, in an ongoing law enforcement situation at the Perry Nuclear Power Plant because the correct views wasn't listened to and it wasn't shut down. At this time, he didn't say that, but he should have. Maybe if they'd have given him more characters on Twitter. At this time, I'm sure he meant to. No additional details can be provided. Law enforcement will provide an update regarding this situation tomorrow when appropriate. To see more and more of it because we have basically bomb targets for anybody that wants to attack the country. Just come find. I mean, granted, it's hard to breach a reactor, but who knows what kinds of things you can do if you're not worried about surviving the disaster. And that brings us to the DUMBDEE of the day. Once again, friends, all the research, everything I do, I get nothing for it if you don't donate, which you can do at the correct views at hotmail.com through PayPal. Also, guys, please hit share. Please hit subscribe. Let other people know that I'm out here, particularly since I was, again, for no reason, robbed of my Facebook page. Friends, The Guardian. Japan scraps mascot promoting Fukushima wastewater dump. Little Mr. Tritium, who is the thumbnail for this video, was meant to help win support for the release of contaminated water into the sea. And it's this ridiculous. I'll show it at the video. I'll flip the camera around at the end of this. It's a ridiculous fish-looking thing, and it's made to look like the Asian cartoons, which is particularly gross because it means that it's appealing to school-age children so that they can be raised to believe that this was a perfectly good idea. And when they get cancer later, it couldn't have been that because, of course, that was a perfectly good idea. Don't you remember the little cartoon? And we won the war. No, like, we keep in mind we won the war, and things are still as bad. Imagine how bad it would have been if we lost it. The Japanese government has been forced to quickly retire an animated, thank you God, their reanimated character it had hoped would win support for its decision this week to release more than 1 million tons of contaminated water from Fukushima into the sea. Although the water will be treated before discharged, it will still contain tritium, of course. So they made a cute fish-like creature with rosy cheeks to sell the idea of poisoning you. The character's appearance as an online flyer in a video and the reconstruction agency's website angered Fukushima residents. It seems the government's desire to release the water into the sea takes priority over everything, Katsao Watanabe, an 82-year-old Fukushima fisher, told the Kyoto news agency. The gap, he goes on, between the gravity of the problems we face and the lividity of the character is huge. Riken Kamatsu, a local writer, tweeted, "If the government thinks that it can get the general public to understand just by creating a cute character, it is making a mockery of risk communication." Social media users were also angered. You can read their tweets on the page. That's where we are, friends. That's really how stupid the world is right now. If nothing else, isolate the beginning of this and play it for people who are trying to embrace the idea that this whole release is somehow a good idea. Let people know I'm out here, friends. Thank you for listening. Good night. God bless. Please remember to donate at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com through PayPal. The money you give to me, I put into this. Thanks a lot, guys.